Hey folks, welcome back once again to Eternal Crusader, and today we're talking about James Lovegrove's Conan pastiche novel, Cult of the Obsidian Moon. James Lovegrove's Conan pastiche Cult of the Obsidian Moon, published last year, unfortunately stands out as one of the greatest disappointments in Titan Books and Heroic Signature's recent publishing initiative. While I'm not familiar with Lovegrove's other works, I'm aware that his Cthulhu Casebook series has garnered quite the loyal following, which led me to approach this pastiche with certain expectations. These expectations were heightened after reading S.M. Sterling's Blood of the Serpent, John C. Hocking's City of the Dead, and Scott Oden's fantastic The Shadow of Vengeance, all of which also were published by Titan Books and range from good to outstanding in quality. Consequently, I was eager to see if Lovegrove could maintain or even exceed that standard. Regrettably, he did not. Among this selection, Cult of the Obsidian Moon is clearly the weakest entry and falls short even compared to most of the short stories that Titan has released in ebook format. There are numerous reasons for this. First and foremost is the story itself, which feels unnecessarily lengthy and disjointed in its two parts. Much could have been trimmed or omitted without detracting from the narrative. Overall, the book suffers from excessive exposition, some of which is presented in an uninspired manner. A prime example is a whole chapter in the first half where Conan encounters none other than the Aesir couple Hunwulf and Gudrun from Robert E. Howard's The Garden of Fear. The couple proceeds to recount the entire plot of that short story over the course of the chapter, of course failing to capture any of Howard's original tension or writing quality. It's basically a very boring retelling. As for Hunwulf and Gudrun and their son, I found these characters quite irritating. Each possessed some ridiculous magical ability or incredible combat talent, leading me to mentally label them as the Magical Wonder family during my reading experience. Hunwulf uses his clairvoyance to cheat at gambling, their son can communicate with animals and make them his familiars, and Gudrun is more or less the cliché Viking shield maiden trope who is equal to any man in battle. Thus, what was teased as a star guest appearance ultimately felt like a cheap gimmick that fell far short of expectations. Additionally, readers hoping for more background lore and information about the cosmic artifact central to the Battle of the Black Stone event will also be sorely disappointed. The references to the comic event and its lore are so minimal that it almost seems as though they were hastily added to an already completed story for marketing reasons. Overall, the entire narrative feels as if Conan and the Hyborian Age were retrofitted into it after the fact. There were a few scenes I found enjoyable, such as the gambling tournament in the first half with its colorful cast, but such moments are regrettably rare. The story drags on, the action is lackluster, the prose basic, and Conan comes across as neither particularly sympathetic nor heroic. There are even instances where he behaves unnecessarily cruel, juxtaposed with moments where he allows a child to persuade him into becoming his personal Mr. Miyagi, leading to numerous tedious training scenes that seem solely designed to pad out the already impressive page count. Lastly, unlike previous books in this series, there are no illustrations included here, which further detracts from its appeal. And therefore, I cannot recommend this book and instead advise opting for one of the other releases I mentioned. They are certainly worth your money and contain the better stories and also artwork, whereas this book, unfortunately, and I know I'm repeating myself, felt like a lackluster work for hire and was a slog to get through. Well folks, thank you all once again for listening to Eternal Crusader. And if you like our content, please do as our favorite Sumerian would do, crush that subscribe button, see that YouTube content driven before you, and hear the lamentations of YouTubers who are too weak for sword and sorcery. Till next time.